And welcome back to a very special episode this time.
Very special. This is an episode that's like 2 months in the making because we have both been
Yeah, off and on, one of us
having
being
having
sick
scheduling
or
issues.
busy or something going wrong,
Yeah.
but we're finally here
Yes.
to rank the Straw Hat Pirates, which is
Yeah. To pick our favorite child.
to pick our favorite child and to pick our least favorite child and feel no remorse about it. And by that I mean excruciating amounts of pain over multiple days.
Right. Yes. That we have agonized over for a month now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um. However, for the first time,
Oh,
I'm gonna do something that we have never done,
ooh, I'm excited.
and I'm gonna introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I learned that we've never done that, like yesterday.
Right. Um.
Well, the floor is yours.
So welcome. If this is the first video of ours you're seeing, hello, thank you. I am Misfit. I am a One Piece pusher. I am a One Piece cult member. And this, my lovely co-host, is Lad, greatest Lad.
The One Piece
He
pushed.
he yeah, the One Piece pushed.
And also fellow
So
One Piece cult member, I think is safe to say at
yeah,
this point.
he's in it now.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone through everything. We're reading shit weekly. I think it's safe to say that I'm in. I've pushed people,
Yeah.
you
Once you
know.
start pushing,
Once you start pushing, I don't know when I started pushing, but I'm a pusher now, that's for sure.
for sure. Yeah.
But normally
Had
we
the had the had
do
the realization that we had never introduced
Yeah,
ourselves, which was
normally we
crazy.
do discussions on sections of the story. Today we're not doing that because there's no more
No.
story for us to discuss.
Right. So, what is a content creator to do when they run out of content?
Make a tier
Tier
list,
list.
baby. Let's
Hell
go. Hell
yeah.
yeah. So, I think our plan is to go in crew order, crew joining order, because originally we were going to do 10 to 1, then 10 to 1, but that seemed stupid. So we're going
Yeah.
to go by the order the crew members join, skipping Luffy and coming back to him at the end for what I should assume is obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And we will
Um,
be revealing where we would rank them each, discussing our
as
thoughts on the
as we go
characters,
through,
and then we will come back at the end after we've ranked everybody and discuss our tier lists as a whole.
yeah. But I think the first thing that we are gonna try to do
Yes.
is we're gonna try to guess each other's rankings just to see how well we
How
know each
well
other,
we
how
know
well
each
we can.
other's feelings on the Straw Hats. This is
Yeah.
hard. I'm worried about it. Do you
Do
want
we
me to
want
go
to?
first or
I was gonna say, do we want to bounce back and forth, or do you want to just run through
oh, of
the
like
list?
I think it would be easier for like one of us to do 10 to 1 and then the other one 10 to 1 for this.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Would you like me? Did you
So
want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Oh shit. I shouldn't have
I mean,
asked. He would have
unless
just
you
done it.
really don't want,
No, I'll go
unless you
first.
really don't want to.
I'll go first. I'll go first. I'll
Okay,
rip the band-aid off.
all right.
Okay. All right. Into the Mind Palace. Into Misfit's Mind Palace. Okay, so I'm going to say 10 is Franky,
Okay.
9 is Brook,
Mm.
8 is Chopper,
Mm.
7 is Nami,
Okay.
6 is Jinbe, 5 Usopp, 4 Zoro, 3 Robin, 2 Sanji, 1 Luffy.
Interesting.
That's my
I will
guess.
say you got a few correct.
Okay. I'm also going to forget what I just said, but we'll see.
That's true. Uh, but the people in the comments, they won't forget.
Yeah, they won't
So,
forget. They won't forget.
all right. So what do I? All right.
Now it's your turn.
So I also think you have Frankie at 10.
Okay.
I think that you have who
Who could be 9?
fuck with. Is
Excuse me,
it
don't fuck with. I fuck with every
All
Straw
right,
Hat.
yeah, all right, no,
Excuse
no,
me.
no, all right, no, 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 no. Let's
Excuse
let's
me.
let's
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's trying to
let's
slander
al-
me
let's
and
also let's also caveat all of this by saying even if someone is 10 or 9, they're still a straw hat, and we love
yeah.
all of the
I
straw
love all
hats
the Straw Hats. Like,
so much more than like most fictional
yeah,
characters, most
the
characters in
the
general.
top 8 maybe might even be in my top 10. Very possibly.
Right. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna say
So,
it goes Franky,
uh-huh.
Usopp,
Ooh.
Jinbe, Nami, Zoro, Chopper, Brook. Wait, no. I forgot
Oh,
Sanji.
yeah, you forgot Sanji somewhere. You were so ready to put Sanji at 2 because he's your favorite.
I was so ready for it.
Oh my,
No,
I
I
mean,
think
who knows? Sanji
Sanji
could be a
probably
2 for
go.
me. You don't know.
Sanji probably goes at like number 5,
So just to
and then I think. Oh yeah,
so that's what
it was.
Frankie, Usopp, Jinbei, Nami,
Was it Jinbe?
Zoro, Sanji.
Yes,
Okay.
and then Chopper, Brook, Robin, Luffy.
Okay. I will say,
I think. I think.
I
Yeah,
think you
we're gonna
got
say
a
that.
you got a couple. I think you got a couple.
All right.
I don't. I think yeah. There's a couple you got for sure.
All right. All right. All right. Now
So
let's get into the real list.
let's get into
Let's
the real
start talking
list,
about Straw Hats,
which
baby.
means we start with Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro. And once again, before we
Yes.
start, I want to preface we do not hate any of the Straw Hats. I love all the Straw Hats, and there's a reason why, and it's maybe because he's on the screen. Would you like? So I think what we should do is bounce between. So one of us reveals our number, and then the other person reveals for the Straw Hats, and like so one of us goes first, then second, then
Yeah.
we switch.
We
Do
can do
you want to
that.
go first with Zoro, or do you want me to go first with Zoro?
You went first on the ranking, so I'll go first here.
All right.
Or you went first on the guessing. So I will reveal. I have Zoro at number 5.
Number 5. Oh man, that is lower than I was expecting for
Mm-hmm.
Zoro for you.
Yeah.
Because I remembered way back when we started, when we were in like Orange Town or fucking Syrup Village, you said that your top three, not Luffy, was Zoro, Sanji, and Robin, I believe. So
Yeah,
things have
it
changed.
was.
Things have changed in the last half
Things
year.
have
Very
changed.
exciting. And now 5 might seem low for someone as big as Roronoa or Zoro. Have you heard of
No way, he
8?
has him lower. 8?
8. I have Roronoa Zoro
8?
at 8. Yes, I do.
That's
I
crazy. That
I
is
it
crazy.
is crazy. This is why okay, if you want to cancel me, first you have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and then leave a comment, and then you can cancel me, okay?
There
Um
you go. Yeah, there you go.
and once again, I want to preface, I
Zoro
love
at 8
Zoro.
is
I love
crazy.
Zoro. I think part of it is that I think that I have a little bit of recency bias, and so some of the really great pre-time skip Zoro stuff is not as in my head as some of the other characters' things.
Hmm. Yeah.
And also that I think right now, as we are in LBAPs, spoilers for to clarify, this is spoilers up to what is the most recent chapter, 1141.
Yeah,
Just in case
1141.
you're watching and you haven't read up to there. I think that Zoro is currently going through an arc, and I think maybe by the end of this arc, Zoro will move back further up. But
Hmm.
really, I'm just not the biggest fan of time skip Zoro. I like time skip Zoro, but I think that compared to most of the rest of the crew, he is less to do in time skip. And so it brings him a little further down
Yeah.
for me than I think it's mostly a recency bias thing. But I love Zoro. I think Zoro's arc is really cool. I think the stuff with King and like bringing back Kuina and all that stuff into his like from his backstory back into the forefront of the plot is really really good. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even know what to say about Zoro. He's just I mean, Zoro's awesome.
Like yeah, Zoro's he rules. He's cool as hell, and you having him at 8 is nuts.
Yeah, it's cancel worthy, most likely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love all of the others so much more than Zoro.
Hmm. Because it so Zoro being at 8,
Yeah, what about
I
it?
understand. I understand that, like, yes, Zoro maybe hasn't done the most
And
during
I do
pre-time
want
or
to
during time skip.
clarify. I'm not like ranking
You
them on
wanna?
how much they've done. I don't think that's fair.
I
It's
know.
just like I'm trying to explain
No,
my
I understand.
reasoning with Zoro. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's a better way
And
of putting it.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
right? I
get
mean,
it. Kind of is why I'm also sort of
yeah, I mean, you're the
like
one who brought him
befuddled
down
because
to 5. That's already low. I can't believe I put him at 8,
yeah,
you know? I just think that
but like I
the
do
Straw
get
Hats are
it.
so compelling, and I am less
Hmm.
personally invested and moved by Zoro's story and character than I am the 7 that are higher than him. And
Hmm.
but it's close. I mean, genuinely 6 through 9 are extremely close for me.
Yeah,
Do you have
that
any?
is a it is a hard range.
Mhm. Do you want to explain why Zoro is 5?
I mean,
Or are your reasons the same as
um,
mine, except I was more strong about it?
I mean, it's pretty much the same. To if I'm being real, I also I guess am more of a like shonen head who thinks
Yeah.
that when he do cool sword it do real cool.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm
So
not
I
as I'm
rate him a
shonen
little bit
headed
higher,
as
I
I
guess.
usually am. That might be it. I mean, he is the king of being shonen headed, I think. Ugh,
Yeah.
8, huh?
Ah man, we are off to a
We're off to
great start.
a very cancelable start. Do we want to move on to our next straw hat?
Yeah. Do we have is that Nami or is that Usopp?
The next straw hat is Nami because I think that Nami joins the crew in when she joins the crew and not in Arlong Park.
Yeah.
So Nami,
Okay.
uh,
I wasn't sure how we were gonna rank it.
I mean, yeah, you know.
All right.
So you
Yeah.
went first on Zoro, which means I get to go first on Nami.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
keeping in the low numbers, I have Nami
Oh,
at
oh
9.
no. Nami is 9?
Nami is at 9, which is strange because I mean, you know, you were there for my original Straw Hat ranking, and you will remember that Nami was one
I
above the
was.
bottom then too. And I love Nami so much more now than I did at the end of pre time skip. But I love the
Mhm.
rest of the Straw Hats also so much more than I did at the end of pre time skip.
Even more.
And so
Yeah.
it's hard for me to move Nami
Uh,
much higher, even though I love her so very dearly. Where do you have Nami?
so I guess keeping a little bit on trend, I have Nami at 6.
6. Ah, we both went down by 1.
So yeah.
I mean, I feel like
And
Nami and
yes,
Zoro are very close for me.
yeah.
Oh,
Think that they're two characters who I've really enjoyed in the beginning, and as time has gone on, their stories have just sort of almost plateaued,
yeah,
you know?
I kind of agree. I think that Nami has of late had some good stuff to do. I think especially in Wano she was great. I like her in Whole Cake.
Yeah.
Um I just and maybe it's just
Hmm.
that I am because I'm admitted that I am not the most I mean obviously by position 9. I am not a huge Nami head. You know, I mentioned this back in the Zoe discussion where I feel like I don't pay attention to Nami as much as the rest of the crew, and so I miss the little moments with Nami.
Hmm.
And I don't really know why that is. I guess it's just the way that I am. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I love Nami. I want her to do more. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Nami gets to do is stuff that's off screen when she's doing navigating. Like I maybe it just comes down to I miss when pre time skip we got more of the little in between moments
Yeah.
where Nami really gets to shine. Because I feel like
Hmm.
a lot of time skip. I mean,
I think my thing is like Nami is a character who I really want to love and like want to really
exactly the same.
like ride for,
I want to ride or die for Nami, and
and I just don't.
I'm not there yet. I'm
Right.
at ride. I'm not quite at die
Yeah.
for Nami as much as I would love to. I mean, I say that as if she's not like top 15 favorite One Piece characters. You know, out of over a
Right.
thousand
Yeah.
named characters.
Hmm.
But I really like Nami. I think that a lot of
And
stuff I want to say I've come around, especially I was thinking about Fishman Island a lot last week, and I've really come around on
yeah.
Nami's role in Fishman Island a lot. Because I remember if you go
Okay.
back to
Yeah.
the Fishman Island discussions, which please don't go watch the Wano ones instead.
Please
Um,
don't. Please
I
don't.
in the in
It
the
was the first one we ever did. It was
in the
really
Fishman
bad.
in the Fishman Island discussions, I talk about how I was kind of upset with Nami's role, and I'm still upset about the fact that she's the only one that doesn't get an action sequence in Fishman Island. But I think that her
Hmm.
stuff with Jinbe during that section is so good and so compelling.
Yeah.
But I think that
Absolutely.
I think it that also
Like
is good and compelling as it is. It gets to my heart of the problem with Nami, which I feel like she is always the second most interesting character in any given thing.
that's a really great way to put
Outside of
it.
like Arlong Park, I feel like
Because
she
like
is always
she will have these really great impactful moments, and then
and then
someone else has
another
one that's more
another crew
impactful,
member
and
has a
then
more
another
impactful
like
one.
either she's either the second or third most impactful moment.
Most impactful
Even
moment
though she
every
had
arc,
this great moment, it's
right?
just
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
at
yeah,
Punk
yeah.
Hazard, it happens in Punk Hazard, it happens in Wano, it happens in Whole Cake. It feels like every arc Nami gets to be the
Hmm.
second or third most interesting character. And unfortunately that makes her the second or third most interesting tier of Straw Hat, which is 9 for me.
Yeah, yeah. Do we
Which
move?
I
You want to
suppose
move?
we move into the god Usopp.
Usoppin.
Uso land. God Usopp. Which means you're up.
Okay, guys.
No. You wouldn't dare.
Guys,
You wouldn't dare.
I have Usopp at 9.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I don't I
Oh.
hated doing it. I
Oh.
hated doing it.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts me.
I hated doing
My
it.
I don't even have Usopp that high and it hurts me.
Usopp Usopp was at one point my favorite Straw Hat,
Me too.
besides Luffy. But
Me too.
and since like Annie's lobby, Usopp has just done nothing. Like he's had some good moments. He's had God Usopp. He's had Dressrosa was good for him.
It's been 10
But
years,
like
Oda. But before we
he
get
just
fully
hasn't
hold on.
done shit.
Before we fully gush
Right?
on
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where
Usopp,
where do you have?
sticking to the low numbers, moving one above Zoro, I have Usopp at 7.
Damn. All right.
And if
I
you,
don't feel as bad now that
yeah,
since we're both so low.
and I genuinely, and I think this is a similar case to Zoro, where I think there's a little bit of the recency bias of time skip, because I think
Hmm.
pre time skip, Usopp is the best written character in One Piece. I think handily,
Yeah,
in my opinion. I think
yeah, I agree,
Usopp.
100%.
I mean, you will remember, you specifically, not the audience, from my original Straw Hat ranking at the end of time skip. Usopp was at 2.
Yeah, he
Usopp is now
was.
at 7, all the way down to 7, because really, I mean, like you said, Enies Lobby is unbelievable for Usopp. I think Thriller Bark
Yes,
is amazing for
and
Usopp.
that really cannot and like that
It
really
cannot be
cannot be
understated. It cannot be understated. That's the whole
cannot
Water
be
7 Enies
cannot be
Lobby
overstated.
post Enies Lobby arc for Usopp is
Yes,
unbelievably good. And I love it. It is
right.
maybe my favorite arc in the series still.
Hmm. Absolutely.
But since then, Usopp has had nothing to do. It feels like his arc was completed then because the story was coming to an end soon. And now it's not. But that
Right.
can't be right because
And
Enies
now
Lobby, there's
it
no
has
way that that was the conception at Enies Lobby. Which is why I'm really hopeful for Elpath.
uh,
Because I
right.
love
Yeah.
Usopp.
Please
I
finish.
was ride or die for Usopp. I
Yes.
would even say
I
I'm
love.
still ride or die for Usopp. But it's
Yeah, absolutely. Usopp is still like
he's the goat.
the
I
everyman.
fucking love
He's
Usopp.
the self-insert of most people, you know, in this story. He's just a dude. He's
He's a
so
guy.
relatable. And
And I love him.
he is the goat. He is the sniper king. He is the god.
But it's been 10 years, Oda.
But
Dressrosa was 10 years ago. Let him do.
exactly.
It wasn't 10 years ago for me. It was a couple months ago, and it still feels like an eternity since Usopp did anything. It's been like
Right.
5 months. And considering I've been reading One Piece for like 7 months, that's a long ass time since Usopp has gotten to do
That's a
anything.
long time.
It's a long ass time. I don't know. I mean, and I like bits of him in Wano, but he's like more than anybody else, he gets to do nothing in Wano.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, if
He
you go to
just
if
like
you go to the Wano
what
videos,
he all he does.
which you should go to the Wano videos. I have my thoughts about Franky and Wano.
You should
But
please watch
even
them.
Franky gets to fight a Toby
Mm-hmm.
Roppo member. Usopp gets to do Skull
Right.
Blast Grass and the bamboo shoot
Frankie,
things, and that's kind of it.
Frankie at least gets to like drive a motorcycle into Big Mom.
Yeah. He gets to go on like a date with Brook, and it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just want more from Usopp. Usopp is like, I
It's
think that
Usopp has fallen so far for me because it is the most disappointing
yeah, because he reaches the highest
like
highs that
fall
maybe any
off.
Straw Hat has, and now he's at
Hmm.
maybe the lowest lows that any Straw Hat has been at. Um,
Yeah, except one,
except one. There is one
three, I
who's been
guess.
at lower lows. Um, who we are gonna talk about next, I think, if we're ready to talk about him.
Are we ready to talk about him?
Are you ready to talk about Blackleg Sanji? But wait, you went first for Usopp, which means I get to talk about Sanji first, you fool.
Fine.
Which means that I'm really gonna build on this.
I guess you can.
Yeah, but you see, the issue is that I get punished next because you know who's after Sanji. Um, so I'm going to reveal that we're sticking in the same ballpark for me because Sanji
No.
is 6, up by 1 again. They said it couldn't be done.
I thought I had done my job. I thought I had done my
Hey,
job. I
oh,
thought I had
hey,
worked. I
look,
thought I
hey,
had.
hey, 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 before you beat yourself up about not doing your job,
I thought I had convinced him. I
last
thought I had
time you heard
convinced
my
him.
Straw Hat rankings, Sanji was last. Now he's
You're right.
in 6th. He's up by 4 places. And I like Sanji. I think that Sanji has the
Yeah.
reverse Usopp problem, where everything prior to Whole Cake I don't like, and then everything since Whole Cake I really like. I like him a lot in Wano. I like him. I love him in Whole Cake. Whole Cake is amazing, and so far the little bits of him in Elbap have been good. I think that he
Hmm.
has basically the same problem that Usopp does, where he has reached the highest peaks of any character in the Straw Hats except for Luffy, but he's also been at the
Yeah.
lowest lows. And Sanji, more than anybody else, has been at those lows the longest. And so I can't, in good faith, put him higher than 6. But there is someone who can, in bad faith, put him in higher than 6.
What do you mean bad faith?
I mean in bad faith because I know that the characters that I put higher than this are in bad faith. There's some of them. Anyway.
Sanji is my number 2,
Number 2,
as
the
we all know,
first, the big
probably.
2. It's pretty obvious if you've been paying attention. Go watch the Whole Cake
Yeah, if
videos.
you've been paying attention, please go watch the whole
Go
Cake
watch the Whole
videos.
Cake videos, please. I'm begging you. So your turn.
Sanji,
Your floor. Go gush about Sanji.
He is the Straw Hat and is one of the characters in this story who has the most like just straight up content about their character. He is one of the most deeply written characters that Oda has ever crafted.
This is true.
He took all the stuff that he was doing with Usopp in pre-time skip and just did all of that for Sanji, but he was already doing that shit for Sanji in pre-time skip. Y'all just weren't paying attention. Sanji has always been controversial.
That's a way to
We
put
will
it.
say.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
And yes, he does have. He is the only Straw Hat who I think it is like feasible to dislike, like as a person.
Yeah.
And I get it if you feel more strongly about his perv joke than I do. You know, you're not gonna like Sanji as much.
Yeah, that's why I've got him at 6.
But it does it. But
I know. I know. You're about to do me
I don't
worse,
look.
probably. So if it makes you feel any better.
I just want everyone to give Sanji a chance.
I
and
gave Sanji a
to
chance.
understand him.
I love Sanji.
You did.
I quite like
I
Sanji.
thought I could have gotten him a little higher.
Well, I mean, hey, you did at least move him up from last. Or maybe Oda did that by doing nothing with a
Oda
certain
did that.
someone and doing a lot with a certain Sanji.
Yeah.
Do you want to gush more on Sanji or do you want more out of me on Sanji?
I look. I mean, do you have more on Sanji? I would love to hear more on Sanji from you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think that Sanji is, in a weird way, despite being, like, from what I understand, one of the most popular characters in the series, at least judging by the popularity polls, I feel like he's really underrated and extremely misunderstood. And I think that he has so many wonderful
Oh, yeah,
moments.
absolutely.
And just, I don't know. I think really, Whole Cake was what got me on the Sanji train, and Wano was what sold me on Sanji. It was not Whole Cake. I think that
Hmm.
Sanji and Wano is just
I think
so
that
incredible.
I think that's really fair
I think the stuff with the
because
help
it
me
does
and
sort of
fighting
end
Queen, it
his.
feels like it completes that arc that starts in Whole
Yes.
Cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it even completes an
You had
arcs from like prior to Whole Cake. Like the fact that he's willing to endanger Robin by asking for her help and things like that is just so, it means
right.
so much to this character, and I think it's really, really
Hmm.
compelling. And I'm so excited to see more from Sanji because I
And
think
I think
you first.
you go.
Oh, okay. I'll go.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I think that with a little bit more from Sanji, I think he could go to the moon. Because I want Sanji to be even higher, but I just can't do it. He's the
I was gonna
uh
say.
he's the Xenoblade 2 of the crew. Which for those of you in the
I'll get
audience who've
that
played
joke soon.
Xenoblade 2, you'll understand what I mean. Unless you hate both Xenoblade 2 and Sanji, in which case you also get it.
But I think that it probably is a little bit more impactful, like Sanji's character development, character arc, because you hated him so much in the beginning.
Yeah, I really, really did not like Sanji for a while.
He really did not like Sanji, and so maybe that's why a character like Sanji getting this sort of development and moving up so much, like it means a little bit more than maybe someone like Zoro or Luffy or Robin or someone like that.
Yeah. So then are we ready to move past
Any
Sanji? I think I'm done
I think
on
so.
him, which means
Yeah.
we move into, we move away from your child and we move to mine. Tony Chopper. And now you're on first to put him on
That
blast.
stupid little rat.
Don't talk about him like that. Yeah,
I don't.
it's all in good fun.
This is a joke. I don't actually believe that. Um, I have Chopper at 7.
It's I'll take it. It's when we
Look,
before
okay.
back when
I
we
love.
started, you said Chopper was your least favorite. The fact that I've made that much progress is good enough for me. I will take it.
Yeah. Uh, I love Chopper. I love that freaky little rat who hangs out with the crew and dresses like Jamiroquai. He's the best.
He's the best.
But also, you know, I'm not a big fan of the redesign in time skip still. I still think that his less cutesy design, yeah, I'm more of a fan of that,
I would
which is
agree,
part of what
even though I
drags
do
him down
like
for me.
time skip design.
And I do like it, but I just prefer original.
That makes sense.
And my thing with Chopper is just like Chopper doesn't have like an arc really other than in Drum Island. Like he learned that it's okay to be a monster in Drum Island and has just kind of been
Been doing
doing
that.
that over and over again the whole
I
time.
get that. I get that.
And not to say that static characters aren't like good and useful and don't have their place in the story because they do, absolutely. And that's also not to say that Chopper is a straight up static character. But he's just eh. That's my best
That's
summation
your
of Chopper's
that's your
character for me. It's just
best
like,
summation of Chopper.
he's good. He's good. He's not great for me.
Well, as
Now
judged,
tell me why I'm
tell
wrong.
me why you're wrong. As you can tell, if you're watching this by the way that I look, I have some thoughts about Chopper because I have Chopper at number 2.
Okay. All right.
I
That makes
fucking
sense.
love Tony Chopper so goddamn much. I don't even know, like, I I have in my tier list that I made prior to this, I have a tier that I called Irrational Love, and that's where Chopper sits. There's no rational part of my brain that explains to me why I
Hmm.
love Chopper so much. It's just like I feel so connected and emotionally invested in this character. I think that he is
Yeah.
regularly the member of the cast that has some of the most to do throughout the whole story. There's really very few moments where Chopper is not a relevant character in some way. Whereas I think characters like Usopp, for
Yeah.
example, just fall off the map for an entire half of the story. Meanwhile, Chopper's biggest absence is Dressrosa because he's not there. I love
Yeah.
he's the first character that made me like ugly cry in Punk Hazard. I don't know why the moment with Chopper with the kids in Punk Hazard made me ugly cry so hard. It happens all the time now, even with stuff before that, because I'm so invested in the story at this point. The Chopper just makes me feel things. I don't know. I have no like I
Yeah.
cannot give you a
And
rational
he has
reason.
since the very beginning.
He is from the moment Chopper showed up, even maybe before, from the moment I knew of Chopper, I just something about him. I just love him so much. I love this little reindeer. I love his stupid blue nose. I love his dumb bald head. I just love him. I don't know. I think that he's great. I think that he gets so many great moments. I love him in Wano. I love him on Punk Hazard. I love him in Zoe. I'm hoping that he's gonna get to do some cool stuff with Robin and Elbaf because they're maybe getting attacked by the God Knights. I just love him, man. I really do. I have my problems with
I
Chopper.
know you do.
I have my problems with Chopper. I don't love the way that we have moved away from using any of his points. When's the last time you saw Horn Point? Really think about it. It's been a hot minute. I think it may even be
I
Fishman
mean,
Island.
Fishman
I'm
Island.
not sure. Is kind
I
of
think Hardpoint
ridiculous.
showed up one time in Fishman
Yeah, it's
Island,
kind of ridiculous.
and then
But
never again.
outside of, but I feel like Chopper, maybe I'm just so unshonen brained at this point, because Chopper doesn't have necessarily the best fight scenes, but I think he's such a relevant character, and his maybe static nature allows him to be sort of a rock that the rest of the crew can lean on, which is fun because he's also the kid, he's the child that everybody's like taking care of, while he's
Yeah.
the doctor that takes care of everybody else. I just love him. He puts a smile on my face. He makes my heart feel warm. I don't know. I love it. I love him too much.
I mean, I can't argue with that. All everything you said there is true. It just
It's just
I
for
don't rate
you
him that
that's
high.
7 and for me that's 2.
Yeah.
But hey, I was worried he was going to be at 10 cuz I remembered way back when you said he was your
No.
least favorite. So, I'm
No,
glad I've made some
someone else
progress.
has taken that
Someone else
spot.
has taken that spot and I have a feeling it
But
might be the same for both of us. Well, we'll find out here in a minute.
yeah.
Are you ready to move on
But
to
we
the
have
goat?
the GOAT,
The goat,
Oda's favorite character.
Nico. I thought that was Sanji. Nico Robin.
I don't know. It feels like Robin is his favorite character.
I mean, he certainly writes her better than most every other character in the show. That's for sure.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
where oh where have you placed Miss Nico Robin? Oh no, I'm
It's
up
your turn.
first. Sorry,
You
I'm up
went
first. I
first
forgot.
already. Yeah.
I was so enthralled by Chopper that I forgot that you went first. I have, and this breaks my heart to say this. I cannot believe I put her this low, and it's not even low. I cannot believe I have Robin at 4.
Okay. I was about to say you said low,
That is
and I
low.
was
For
getting
Nico
really
Robin,
concerned.
4 is low.
It is.
Nico Robin should be higher than 4, but I have
But
a
it makes
problem, and you'll know who they are in a minute.
and I know I
And
already know who
if
they
you've
are.
been paying attention, it's not Franky. So, uh,
Because I have Robin at 3.
Robin at 3, and that is completely reasonable. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I would probably have Robin at 3, or maybe
If
even
there is
2, if it wasn't for my irrational love for 2 other characters.
yeah. if there is any character in this story who you could claim is Oda's favorite, it is absolutely Nico Robin. This lady gets banger moment after banger moment every
Yeah.
arc she is in.
She has like the reverse Nami problem where every time she has a big moment, it's the best part of the arc.
Right.
I don't know. There's just nonstop good content with Robin. She's great in pre-time skip, even before Ennie's lobby. She's so interesting and fun and
Yeah.
mysterious. Water 7 Ennie's lobby. I mean, do I even need to talk about it?
I mean, do we even
Do we
need to
even need to talk
discuss?
about it? I love her in Sabaody and in Thriller Bark, even though she plays a very minor role.
Hmm.
And then in Time Skip, she's just been a hit. Every arc that she's important in,
Yeah.
she's been a hit. Even if she's like understated in Dressrosa, but she's still great in Dressrosa. She's really good in
Yeah,
Wano.
absolutely.
And she's now really good.
I
She's
also
probably the most interesting character so far in Elbaf that's not a new character.
Mhm. I also think Robin is one of the funniest characters in the show,
I
and I
would
think that's
agree.
not highlighted a
I
whole
think
lot
her like
by a lot of people, but
weird,
like
dark, dry
Robin's
humor is really
weird
funny.
bit is really funny,
Or like
and it
crying
hits
over the death of
almost every
the
time.
drawing dragon,
Of the dragon,
crying and
Ryunosuke, I think
making
his
a
name
yeah
was.
Ryunosuke I think and making a little grave for him.
Hmm.
I don't know Oda.
In Punk Hazard, when Franky got swapped with Chopper, and she's like, "Do not speak in his body.
It's gross. You're
His
gross.
face should not look
Look
like
like
that."
that. Or like when they first meet Kuma and you see a little thought bubble of hers and it's just a bunch of little cats with paw pads. What is her problem? I love her.
Yeah,
She's just so
she's
wonderful.
weird. She's a weird little book nerd
She's
girl,
weird,
and I
she's
love her.
funny, she's cool, she's got so much depth, a tragic backstory. Like there's just everything that you could like in a
Oh
One
yeah.
Piece character is there with Nico Robin. And she even she gets to have cool fights, which is something that Nami
Yeah.
struggles
Oh
with.
yeah. Exactly. She's also like one of the most powerful, like in power in terms of power
Yeah,
skills, most
she's up
powerful crewmates.
on the top levels of the power rankings. Obviously not, the Monster Trio and Jinbe, but she's like probably right behind them. She just has everything. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'd say she's probably number 5 in terms of power.
Like really, I mean the only thing that's
She's
keeping
and also
and also
she's hot as fuck.
it's true.
She is
That's a fact.
the
That's a
most
known
attractive
fact.
woman in the story, and
That's a
that
known
is
fact.
it.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
anybody
exactly.
that
That's not even like up for
that's not
debate.
like a contentious decision, I don't think.
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure Nico Robin has
Yeah,
haters.
she
I don't
has
want to meet
everything.
them. She's got everything. She's basically a perfect character. The only thing stopping her from going higher for me is that I have a bigger irrational love for the three characters higher than her than I do for her. But from
Hmm.
my purely rational brain
Yeah.
cannot put any of the other Straw Hats above her in any world.
Hmm.
Except I guess maybe
Absolutely.
Luffy. I think my rational brain could get behind Luffy, but my irrational brain is
Yeah.
even bigger for Luffy. So,
Yeah.
and so then we move into the most super of the bunch, Cyborg
He's.
Franky.
I would like to remind everyone that just because a character is
Yeah,
ranked low on this list does
I
not mean we don't
I
like this
think I
character.
think that is a good thing to remind people as we get to this character. Where do you have Franky?
I have Frankie at 10.
Wow, that's so funny. I also have Franky at 10.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
look. It brings
it
me
looks
no
bad.
joy. It
I
brings
don't
me
like
no
it.
joy to do
I
this,
don't like it, okay? I love Franky.
but I don't. There's just everyone else has more going on, has
Everyone else has
more
more
moments that I love,
more
has
to
better
do,
development,
more things to do,
has
more depth,
something.
more arc, more something, more substance, more anything. I so desperately want Frankie to get to do stuff because I love Frankie. You know,
Yes,
Misfit will
I love Frankie
remember
so much.
in my pre-time skip ranking, I think I had Frankie at like 6 or 7, and I said that I said and I
Mhm.
quote, Frankie has the most potential to go way up of any Straw Hat. And
Yeah.
instead, Oda did nothing with him for like 15 years. And so now he's at 10.
Hmm.
The Senor Pink fight is good. Every other
It's
character
really good.
has like 7 Senor Pink fights. Franky has 1.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, I just want him to get to do stuff. But I feel like everything that is tied to Franky is not relevant in post time skip. And it's like my problem with the
Mm-hmm.
Sunny not being as much of a character as the Mary, that's tied to Franky because
Right.
Franky's the closest to the Sunny. And then like
Mm-hmm.
because we're so, and then since so many of the arcs don't even have the Sunny, we don't have a lot of Franky's cool new power-ups like the General Franky for a bunch of different arcs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I think that please, if you are a Franky fan watching this, I'm begging you to put in the comments what it is about Franky that you love because I want to know. I
Yeah.
so
Please
so
try
so
to
so
please sell us
desperately
on this character.
please, I've
I
never
want to
wanted
love him so bad.
more than any other member of the crew. I want to love Franky more. I just can't. I just feel like that Franky doesn't have anything, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to be wrong. Please prove me wrong. Cancel me. I want to be canceled for my Franky take. I just want more from it.
Mm-hmm.
I want something from the most Superman on the crew. And maybe it's
He's
happening in
super.
Elbaf, but it feels like everybody else is doing stuff and Franky's by himself. But I guess he found the mural.
Yeah.
But then
But it
it
just
doesn't.
feels like Frankie's gonna get, pushed to the side
It
again
feels like
to
Franky's gonna get pushed to the side,
for
and then
more
Robin's gonna
relevant
go look at the
character.
mural.
Right.
I don't know. I just want Franky to get to do stuff. I
We went
think
to,
that
we went to fucking Egghead Island where Vegapunk's lab is, and
is
Frankie didn't do anything in that
yeah.
arc.
Vega.
I
He
mean, he
got
did
to
stuff, but he didn't have a
yeah.
moment.
He got to nerd out a little bit on Vegapunk, but then he didn't get to have a moment. Zoro got to have a moment.
Hmm.
You know.
Right. Sanji had a moment.
Sanji had
Robin
a
had a
moment.
moment.
Robin had a moment. There's a trend, Oda, and then Franky doesn't get a moment. But
Mhm.
it does hurt to put Franky at 10. I don't like it.
It hurts.
But he's really the only member of the crew that I don't think is in
But
conversation of
again,
moving
I
higher.
love Frankie. I love his intro in Water 7. I love his backstory with Tom and Iceberg. I think it's crazy to think about and remember that this guy knows Roger
Yeah,
or he met Roger.
met Roger, met Kozuki Oden.
Yeah.
I want him to do stuff,
Um.
man, because I love him.
Yeah.
Let him go back
Yeah.
to like
Absolutely.
building shit randomly like he did in Thriller Bark. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give him
Yeah.
something. Give him something.
Please, Oda.
But I think that's
But
enough bashing on Frankie.
away. Oh, yeah. Away from the low rank ones. Let's go back to a high ranked guy.
A high ranked guy for both of us? That's surprising to me because our next crew member is Brook. And I believe I am first for Brook.
Yeah.
And before, I had mentioned that I have a problem. And it is because of that problem that Nico Robin is at 4. And one of those problems is Tony Tony Chopper. The other part of that problem is Brook. Because I have
Is
Brook
this
at 3.
stupid
Is this
skeleton?
stupid fucking skeleton that I have at 3. I love him. I don't
Brook
know.
at 4.
You've got Brook at 4? Holy shit. I have done some
Yeah, I
fucking work,
love Brook.
maybe. I don't know.
You really did some work on Brook.
I must have
And
done
I
some
already
work on
loved
Brook.
Brook, but
I've
also
I love this character.
I just didn't look at Brook the same way when I first went through the story. And going through it again, I love the all the talk and the way that Brook makes you think about like the nature of death and like what that means. I think that he has arguably the saddest backstory on the crew.
It's certainly up there.
It's a toss up
It's
between like
certainly up
him
there.
and Robin and Sanji.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the ones that makes me cry when I think about it too hard, so
Exactly.
and that, which is not a very exclusive club among the crew, to be fair. I don't know.
It's really not. It's really
I
easy.
fucking love this skeleton. I think that he is silly. I think that he's fun. I think that he gets cool action. I think that he is
Mhm.
feels to me like a really underrated character. I mean, I was looking at the popularity poll, the most recent popularity poll for the series, and he is
Mhm.
like ninth most popular Straw Hat, only above Frankie.
Damn. Damn.
Um, I just love him. I think that he is a surprisingly understated character, despite being a skeleton with an afro who is a world famous pop star.
Yeah.
I think that his stuff in Whole Cake is so fucking good that it blows my mind and
Oh
nobody
my
fucking talks about it.
God, yes.
Like
Oh my God,
his
yes.
whole shit with
Go watch
Pedro.
the whole cake
Go watch
videos.
the Whole Cake videos. I gush about Brook for like 30 minutes or some shit in one of them. I think that his whole thing with Pedro is so good. I think that he's got a lot more shit to do because I feel like his arc is not finished. Because I think that
Absolutely.
when he joined the crew, his arc was finished, and then his arc got restarted by Pedro. And so now I think that he's in a
Hmm.
really interesting position where I'm excited to see what he gets to do next. He consistently gets some of the coolest drip in the series. I mean, look at the fucking Wano outfit. Oh my
Oh
god.
my God. Oh my God, dude. This
And he is,
how is this 90-year-old
yeah,
grandpa
this
fucking stunting on all these
stupid
people?
old man.
He's out here, he's not even dripping, he's wet, dude.
He's wet, which is strange because he's
It's
bones and
such a
bones are dry.
because he's bone
He's
dry.
bone dry.
Yo.
Yo, I fucking love this skeleton. I don't. He consistently makes me laugh. He is also, I think, the only character in the series that has made me cry
Yes.
over a singular
It is.
gag panel. A nothing gag panel where he sings about Cat Viper made me cry because I
Oh
fucking love
yeah,
One
dude. That
Piece.
was
I
oh yeah,
fucking
dude.
love One Piece, and I fucking and Brook is like, I feel like Brook is emblematic of what I love so much about One Piece. Is because a character like Brook doesn't exist
Hmm.
in other stories, and that's what I love so much about this
Exactly.
series.
This dumb, stupid, crazy skeleton with an afro who makes bone puns and says 45-degree angle, and yet he's also gonna make you bawl your fucking eyes out, and then he's also gonna be have some of the coolest action scenes in the whole show.
Yeah, I fucking love the skeleton. I don't know what it is
Like
about him really, outside of the things we've
If
said.
Robin does it all, Brooke really does do it all as well.
Brook does it all. Brook has some problems, I will say. I think that Brook is a little underutilized, and that's partly because he joins at like the worst possible time, where
Yeah,
he
Brooke
joins
joins
and
in an
then
arc right before all of the
yeah,
crew
and
is
then
split up for two
immediately
years
all the crew is
immediately
split up
afterward.
immediately after, and then the first major arc in pre-time or in post-time skip, he's not a part of it because he leaves with the rest of the crew to go to Zoe. And so for like a long period of time
Hmm.
he's like on the crew but hasn't done anything. And I think that
Yeah.
he's been better since then. Um and obviously the
Yeah.
perv jokes suck and I don't like them. But unlike Sanji, Brook has not made a perv joke in over
It's much less egregious than Sanji's bit in general,
yeah.
and he has also just like stopped.
He also hasn't done it in over 300 chapters. And the last time
Yeah.
he did it, it was to taunt Big Mom into attacking him, which is
Yeah.
crazy because she's a fucking emperor. This stupid fucking
Oh yeah,
skeleton that I love.
we can talk more about Brooke and Whole Cake.
I I
Brooke
I could talk
1v1 to Big Mom.
1v1 Big Mom before Jinbe even has the line about how a member of the future King of the Pirates crew shouldn't be scared of an emperor. 1v1's Big Mom.
Hmm.
And then does it kind of again at the end of the arc to cut Zeus. He's him.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's him.
he is him.
He's him. I love him.
He's
He's
I mean,
hilarious. He's really funny. I think that he's consistently cool. Another funny moment from
mhm.
Brook is in Wano. One of the like ice onis bites him on the shoulder, and he starts screaming. And then he's like, "Oh wait, I don't have any nerves. I don't even. It can't even hurt me." It's just like, what is his problem? Like, he can't even get infected by
He's
the
a weird.
disease. He's such a
He's
fucking
such a
weirdo.
freak.
He's such a freak, and I love him. And that's really my big thoughts on the
Yeah.
skeleton. Which means we move into our final member of the crew, the most recent member of the crew, the Fishman,
Jinbe.
the first Knight of the Sea, Jinbe. And you're up. You have to rank him first.
Who's going? I'm
You're
going
up
first.
first.
I don't
I
want to say it.
I don't want to. I don't even remember which number you haven't said, but I'm upset because I think it's a little lower.
It's I have Jinbe at 8,
Oh my
and
god.
I don't
Oh,
like it.
fuck, that
But I
hurts.
couldn't. I just physically could not justify putting Jinbe any higher when we have just spent so little time with him. We have spent so little time with him as an actual member of the crew And yes, you could make the argument that he has quote unquote been a member of the crew since Marineford or
I might make that
since
argument in a
Fishman
minute
Island or
here.
whatever. Yeah.
Which
But
also,
still at the same time, even if he is a member of the crew, he wasn't like around.
that's true.
He was doing his own shit. So I think when you classify him as actually joining is a little bit of a moot point. And I love Jinbe, and I love Jinbe. I don't want anyone to think that I don't like Jinbe.
This guy doesn't like
I
Jinbe. Can you
love
believe
him
this guy?
so much. And then no, 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 no.
With all those negative things about Jinbe said, I have Jinbe at 5.
Okay,
I
that makes sense.
adore
That's that.
Jinbe.
See, that's a placement that I would love to put Jinbe at, but I
I
couldn't.
I
I couldn't
adore
justify
Jinbe.
it.
I think I had Jinbe lower, and then because I guess my head I was so stuck in, oh, but he doesn't join the crew until halfway through Wano. But really think about the character of Jinbe and what we know about him. If he was not a crewmate, I feel like he would be everybody's favorite character. Does this make sense? But since he's a crewmate, everybody has to be like, oh, well, I don't know, he's not been in the crew for that long. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Jinbe. And even I'm doing that, putting him at
Okay,
5.
all right.
I think that his stuff, like with the way that he's introduced and like how he's originally built up at Arlong Park, and you're like, oh, this guy was above Arlong. He must be this evil, malicious, terrifying. And then you meet him, and he's like this remorseful, sort of down to earth, and he's like, he believes so much in like putting trust in the right people, like that he's not even willing to blindly trust Luffy because of Ace's word, but is so immediately captivated by Luffy that he's willing to tank an attack from a Kainu to keep Luffy alive. All of the stuff in Fishman Island with him like breaking down into tears because Nami's willing to forgive him for letting Arlong loose and then getting connected to Luffy permanently through the blood transfusion. He's so fucking cool and whole cake. And then in Wano, he finally gets to join the crew, and it feels like this like wave of relief on like physical relief over not just the crew in the series, but me personally. Like he's finally made it, and I'm just so excited to see where Jinbei's going because now that Jinbei is a member of the crew, that means there's more to see with Jinbei, and to me, that's the most exciting thing about Jinbei.
Once again, I agree with all of those points.
But when you're ordering straw hats, you're really splitting
I
hairs.
really like, and like we said, I think you said earlier, like between like 9 and 6, they are really close.
Yeah, 9 and 6 through nine
Like
and six are really close for me.
5 to 1 gets more like solid. 10 Frankie is
I'm
pretty
sorry,
solid, but
Frankie.
like this lower middle range, they're all very close. Like it is splitting hairs.
Yeah, it's really splitting hairs on what certain things impact you more or mean more to you, and
Yeah,
what certain things mean a little bit less because they all mean something. If you've made it this far into One Piece,
exactly.
you probably love every Straw Hat,
It all
unless you're a
means
Sanji
a
hater. But
lot.
like, I just love the Straw Hats.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah, don't upset Misfit over there. He'll find you. He'll leave mean comments if you talk bad about Sanji, and I will leave a heart on the comment because it
Yeah.
would be really funny. But we did say we would be coming back to someone. The most important member of the
I mean,
crew, Monkey D.
come
Luffy.
on.
And what is there to
D
say
Luffy,
except for
baby.
both of
Oh
us
man.
have him at 1? What else is there to fucking
Yeah. I
say?
mean, where else would he
Where
be?
else do you put him?
You can't conceive of a list of Straw Hat rankings where Luffy isn't at the top. At least I can't.
I can't. I think I love him too much. I can't even think about it.
He is he is the he's the guy. Like
He's him.
there's so few words to like succinctly describe Monkey D. Luffy because he is just him.
He's him. Luffy is
Like
he's the
he's
greatest. He's the greatest to ever do it. He's going to be the king
hmm
of the pirates. I love everything about Luffy. I think that he's fun, he's silly, he's cool, he's emotional, he's wonderful.
absolutely. I mean, he is the truest and realest embodiment of what this story is, what it's about,
Yeah, the very heart,
how this story functions.
the very beating heart of One Piece is Monkey D. Luffy.
Right. You could not tell this story with any other
Yeah, with
protagonist.
any other main character, with any other set of traits other than this man. He's just
Hmm.
he's so succinctly perfect.
Yeah. So since it's a little bit difficult to talk about Luffy as like a as a whole, he's just
Yeah.
him like
There's
we
so
just
much
said.
like it would just be going in
We
circles.
Yeah, we are going to be doing a draft of our top 5 favorite Luffy moments. Now, if you don't know what a draft is, like
Like
Lad
I
didn't when
didn't
I suggested
like
this,
I didn't 3 days ago.
um, basically we will be going back and forth, picking are the best moments from Luffy that the moments that we think are the best, and then you guys in the comments will decide who you think has the better list, and that will be the winner. And whoever wins gets a cookie or something.
Yeah. Whoever wins gets you to click the subscribe button.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. And also
Uh,
after we go through the draft, we'll probably discuss at least a few of the moments, if not all of them, to give Luffy
yeah,
his the time that he deserves, really.
yeah. His full time in the spotlight that he deserves. All right, now
Now, who wants Gear 5? I feel like that's
I
a
was gonna say,
fair
should we flip a coin?
I feel like that's a
How should
fair
we decide who
statement.
goes first?
How should we decide who gets Gear 5? I don't know. I feel like flipping a coin makes some sense.
All right,
And we do
I'm
it
gonna pull up a
live, chat. We do it live.
coin flipper. You're just gonna have to trust me that I'm
Oh, yeah, you're not cheating? Okay, I'll trust you.
yeah.
I trust you.
All right.
You only put
Do
my
you
son
want
Chopper at
heads or
7.
tails?
Um,
Hey, bro.
Tails never fails. Give me Tails.
Tails never fails. It's heads. Get fucked.
God damn it. Well, we're gonna be doing some heavy lifting.
So, for my first pick, I think I'm gonna pick the Gear 5 reveal, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I can imagine how that becomes your first pick. I think for me, when I think of great Luffy moments that aren't Gear 5, the first thing that comes to my mind is end of time skip, or not end of time skip, end of pre-time skip, when Jinbe asks him what he still has, and he says that I have my friends.
Ooh, that is a really good moment that I definitely had on my list. I don't know if I would have taken that at the 1 though.
I just think that it's a moment that is extremely emotionally impactful to me.
Mhm. Okay. At number 2, I'm gonna take Tell Me You Want to Live.
That's a pretty great one, for sure.
Um, and if I may, because they actually never mind. I won't say that. Never
Oh, oh, he's hiding things from me and you. From me and you, dear
mind.
viewer.
From
I
everyone.
think on a similar vein, for number 2, for me, I am going to go with Luffy saying that he will not eat anything until Sanji cooks him, and he's going to wait for him.
Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, you Sanji headed bitch. You should have gotten it first.
I didn't think
Yeah,
he was gonna pick the Sanji
you should have
moment.
gotten it first. Look at you. Now who's the number 2 Sanji fan, huh? Look at you.
Oh man. Okay. At number 3. Oh man. There are so many
There's
moments.
so many great moments from
Um
Luffy.
at number 3, I'm gonna take walking past Kaido and Big Mom
That is another
on
really good one.
the rooftop.
I considered that for one, but I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think For me, the next thing that comes to my mind is maybe this is a weird way to say, maybe the first amazing Luffy moment is him in
Damn
Arlong
it.
Park giving Nami the
Damn it.
hat and saying, "Of course I will," screaming it at the top of his
Yeah.
lungs, going to Arlong Park, breaking
Mm-hmm.
down the wall. Which one of you guys is Arlong? It's the moment that gets you in, it's the moment that hooks you, and it's
Mm-hmm.
rides on Luffy's back.
Absolutely. Absolutely it does. All right, at number 4. There's a lot left that I could take.
There is a lot left you could take.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna go for not necessarily a, hype or emotional moment. I'm gonna go for a comedy moment for my number 4.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna go with Luffy asking Law if he's going to betray him in Punk Hazard.
That is a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one. And that
If
leads
if
it
there's
back to
ever a moment
me.
that shows you who
Who
Luffy is,
he
it's right
is.
there.
He did, I mean, Law said no.
Yeah, and he didn't.
I think, I don't know. Four is tough. Four is tough.
Mhm.
And you got me good with a humor moment because it's hard to think of other really great humor. I mean, there's so many good humor moments from Luffy, but it's hard to pick one in particular.
Yeah.
I think that and maybe I would say this is maybe a bit of an underrated Luffy moment that I want to pull out of the bag is
Hmm.
Enies Lobby Larab Lucci fight when Luffy is about to fall and he stops himself from falling over and he finishes the fight with the jet gatling.
Oh, yeah, Jet Gatling
And
is
he
that is a great moment.
reminisces on like him promising that he would not go down again. It's so
Hmm.
good. And amazing in the anime. The jet gatling
Oh,
is beautiful.
oh my God, yeah, man. I have a lot left to pick from.
There's I mean, so do I. You only have one more slot.
I know, I know, I know. Um, all right, I'm gonna go with No Steppy.
Oh, no, Steppy is so good. I can't believe I fucking forgot about it. Oh,
For people who don't know what I
what
mean
a
by No
beautiful moment.
Steppy, it's the moment where Luffy stops Doflamingo's foot from, kicking
Crushing
Law.
Law, yeah.
When you have that first. Oh, here, we'll talk about him later.
Oh, I can't. I'm kicking myself for forgetting about No Steppy. But what I'm not kicking myself about is leaving this one for number five because I knew that you wouldn't steal it from me. It's a moment that I love,
Mm.
one of my all-time favorite Luffy moments, that I knew you hated Chopper too much to even think about it.
I don't hate Chopper. What is this
and
slander?
it's and it's the moment in Drum Island when he is holding up Hero Look's flag and it will not fall.
Dude, your dude literally was the first moment that I put on my list. I just couldn't justify putting it up here.
You couldn't steal it. You couldn't take it. I got the Sanji moment and the Chopper moment because I'm a real fan.
You bastard.
That's me. That's me. Oh,
Ah,
God, and that's not even like
okay.
that barely scratches the
And that's
surface on
not even
beautiful Luffy
yeah, like I mean we
moments.
can do so like there's honorable mentions that I have on here. One that I was considering putting on was jumping on the Boa's sisters' backs during the fight
Yeah,
in Amazon
that's
Lily.
an amazing
I
one.
think is a beautiful Luffy moment. Punching Saint Charlos in Sabaody is just like
Oh my
is just
God,
raw hype.
how did neither of us do that one? Holy shit!
Sniper King shoot down that flag is
Shoot
kind
down
of a
that
Sniper King
flag.
moment, so I didn't put it on there.
Yeah, it also is kind of close to the "Tell me you want to live" line.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
that
too
that was what I
close.
that was what I was gonna say during that. I
Argue
was
if
like,
I did it, or
yeah. Um, I mean, we have him screaming, "I'm your brother" to Ace. Climbing the mountain in Drum Island, I think is a really
oh,
underrated moment.
or him when he saves the bunny in Drum Island also is a really underrated
Dude,
Luffy
oh yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
But if we want to
hitting
go back and
Bellamy,
talk a little bit about some of
and then
these,
saying he's
oh,
going up,
dude, the Bellamy punch. Oh, that was
or even
great.
the Bellamy punch in Dressrosa. I mean, with how much of a
In
Bellamy head you
Dressrosa
are.
too, yeah. Yeah.
God, there's just so much good shit. Or like him, maybe it's more of a Jinbe moment, but doing the blood transfusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, so much, so
Absolutely.
much.
Oh
God,
my
how is
god.
Luffy the
Oh,
character
I
that he
forgot.
is?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, what
I
did you
forgot the one
forget?
that I wanted so bad. The it's suffocating me moment
Oh,
with
with Jofi?
Doflamingo.
Yeah, I thought about that one last night, but I didn't end up going for
Mm-hmm.
it.
I
God,
think
that's
No
just
Steppy probably is a better
No Step. He's a little more
moment.
iconic.
Yeah.
You're suffocating is a
God.
pretty great line though. I mean, like neither of us talked
Um
about Luffy versus Katakuri. Holy shit!
True.
There's just like an infinite amount of good moments
There
with Luffy.
exactly. There is an
Luffy
infinite number. That's why I wanted
Luffy
to do this.
Luffy breaking down when Kuma's teleporting away his crew. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the perfect protagonist. I don't know, like, what else is there really to say
Exactly.
about all these
What
different
else is there to
moments?
say?
Go read the
Yeah.
story if again, if you don't love
If
Luffy as
it
much as we do. Truly.
exactly.
Are
Um
there any moments we want to dig in on specifically and why they maybe mean a lot to
I mean,
us?
I think that the Here Looks Flag moment, I think, is a really great moment, and I'm
I agree with you.
kind of upset that I didn't get it.
Yeah, you
I'm
should
kind
have
of upset I
taken
didn't get
I
it.
took your Sanji moment. I thought you were going to immediately take my Chopper moment, but it's just I don't
I
know.
went for the
For me, there's something about that moment that just feels so real. I don't
yeah,
know what it
absolutely, yeah.
is. Like obviously I don't know.
It's
I'm invested
just
in the whole story, but there's something so raw about the way that he is like willing to take the pain for another person's treasure, another person's dream, another person's hope. It
mm-hmm,
is emblematic of who Luffy is as a person and is
yeah,
endlessly relevant throughout the entire story.
mm-hmm, yeah. And I think it really like the way it's portrayed, like the paneling and the way it's shot in the anime. It's all it just looks visually stunning. You know, you see him emerge from the cloud of smoke with like the smoke still sort of billowing off of him as he just keeps the flag raised up because it should not and it cannot fall. You know, in
Yeah.
a almost similar way to the thing with like Katakuri at the end of the Katakuri fight where Katakuri purposely falls back on his back
Yeah. Gets back up
because
after he
it
fell
like
forward to fall backwards.
in a I don't know exactly why it feels similar to me, but like just that sort of like this it's so innocuous, like a flag falling on the ground that like it shouldn't matter,
It shouldn't matter
but
as much
it
as it
does to
does,
Chopper. It
but it
does to
matters
Chopper, and so
so
it does
much.
to Luffy, and so it does to us.
Yeah. And also, even smaller than all of those other things, out of context, whenever you see that moment pop up, because of what Luffy's wearing, you're reminded of the fact that he's wearing Nami's coat, which he ripped a sleeve off of. So there's even a tiny
Yeah.
bit of humor in a moment like that, even if it's
Yeah.
not the main point of the section. When you come back to it every once in
Hmm.
a while, and you see the moment, it's something that comes to mind. There's just
Yeah.
it's just every corner. I don't know, man. How does Oda do it?
Absolutely.
How do you write a
How
character
does
like
it do it?
Luffy so consistently for so long? Ignore Whiskey Peak. Everything else, man, he's him, right? He's just him.
Hmm. He's just him. Is there any other moments that we set on this list we want to dig into?
I mean, I would say we could dig into Gear
I mean,
5, but if you really want to hear gushing about Gear 5, please go watch the Wano video or
yeah.
any of the
If you
Wano
want to hear us talk
videos.
about
The Wano videos are great.
the
Please. We talk
yeah.
about Gear 5 for maybe an hour in the final one. So, it's truly, I mean, Gear
Yeah.
5 is an unbelievable moment.
Hmm.
And same thing, I mean, the part of the reason why I feel like it's so good to highlight Drum Island is because we don't have a video on early One Piece.
Yeah,
Whereas, like,
absolutely.
there are videos of me crying over the Sanji moments or the Wano moments, like, all those things are there. I don't know. I love Monkey D.
Hmm.
Luffy. I think that he's great. I'm excited to see more of him. I feel like we're really close to getting another big Luffy moment, probably with Loki soon.
I
It's going
absolutely
to be an
agree.
all-timer.
Um, but with all of that being said about our captain, do we want to pull up the list
Yes,
of
let me
our tier
pull up
lists
our
that
tier
we
lists that we
made?
made prior to this that we kept secret from each other to review our tier lists in totality.
We didn't have like a format, and
Not
so
really.
his and
Yeah,
mine are very
a little different because we didn't
formatted very
communicate how
differently.
we were going to format them. But that's part of the charm you
I
come
also
for
have
here.
Vivi on mine, and I decided to just put her next to Nami because I would never split up a lesbian couple.
True. Based based and true.
True and real.
True and real. And also
Uh,
because she's going to join, guys, right? Surely.
she's coming. Sure, soon.
Soon she's going to join and she's going to get the pawpaw fruit and everything's going to be great and I'm excited about it.
Yep, and I'm excited, and I'm not going to think about what her getting the pawpaw fruit means.
Yeah, no,
So
it
I'll
definitely
so I
nope.
can stay
Yep, so
excited.
I can stay excited. I'm not going to think about what it means about a certain somebody who I love very much. I don't know. I think that
But with all of that
I
being
was
said,
surprised. Well, before we move away, I want to talk about the tier list in
yeah, let's
totality.
talk a little bit about the
I
tier
think
list.
our tier lists were more similar than I thought they were going to be. I really thought that
I agree.
I guess I thought that you had a lower opinion of characters like Brook. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's funny to see us having Brook and Robin just flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us
And
having
then
moved each other's number two up like 3 or 4 slots is
yeah.
charming. Both of us disillusioned with Usopp is a little sad.
Uh-huh.
Franky at the bottom.
I still think Zoro at 8 is
It
ridiculous,
is
but
ridiculous. I agree with you that it's ridiculous, but have you considered the characters that are above Zoro? I love them more. They mean so
I
much to I
guess
love
I get it,
Zoro.
and I get it.
There's a reason why my tier list has Zoro in the tier called any other series they would be my favorite. It's because if this wasn't One
Yeah,
Piece, Zoro would be the best character. The issue is that it's One
right.
Piece, and so there's other characters that are just as good or better than Zoro. And there's a bunch of them because Oda's a madman that
Hmm.
somehow is able to do it.
Yeah, but no, I think it's interesting just how I was really surprised by how high Brook went for me
Me
because
too.
I was never like a huge Brook stan before doing this series with you, but you've really forced me to focus on Brook in a way that I hadn't ever really before. And when you really like pay attention to Brook, there is
There is a lot
a
there
whole lot
in
to
the
love about him.
cracks that are not super in your face, and I feel like that is true of
Yeah,
every
exactly.
Straw Hat.
Hmm.
It just
It's
so
just where
happens that
we
Brook
can't.
is the one that I paid attention to the most.
Hmm.
And once again, please, if you are a Frankie head, please, I'm begging you, tell me what it is in the cracks that
Please
I'm
sell
missing
us on
about Frankie.
Franky.
Sell me on Frankie. I want to love Frankie. I want to put Frankie above Zoro so that I can put Zoro at 9. Imagine how funny that would be.
You, you would never. You would never.
And then also, if you're a
You
Nami
would
fan,
never.
sell me harder on Nami so that I can put Zoro at 10. Imagine
Absolutely.
how funny that would be. And Zoro heads, if you're a big Zoro
Uh,
fan, believe me, I love Zoro. Leave a comment so that I feel bad about putting Zoro low. And then I won't read it. Or maybe I will.
we'll read it.
You'll never find out if I read it unless you leave the comment, so.
True. And it has to be a good comment so that it makes us cry, so that we have to
Yeah.
leave a love
Oh,
heart on
right.
it, so that you
Yes.
know we read it.
Yes, if your comment makes us cry, we will put a heart on it. That's a promise to you. I
Um,
think that is all
if
we
you
have
and
for
also
rankings, or
if you
oh,
like and subscribe to the video, then you will have liked and subscribed to the video.
so true. So true. And imagine how good it would feel if the number went up because you clicked a button. You love numbers and you love watching them go
Hmm.
up.
It's like Cookie Clicker, except you only get to do it once.
It's like Balatro, except you only get to do it once also. All right. Thanks for
All right.
watching. Thanks for listening to our terrible opinions on the Straw Hats. And also, I guess we didn't say this, more engagement farming. Tell us what your ranking for the 10 Straw Hats are down
Yeah,
below. Please
absolutely.
do. We would
Please,
love
please
to we would
put that
love
in
to
the
hear it. I'd
comments.
love to know what you guys think about the Straw Hats. Even some of the ones that we also love, like Chopper or Sanji or Robin or Brook
Mm-hmm.
or Luffy. You know, anybody. I love
Yeah.
talking about One Piece and
If
getting to hear
if
people's
anyone
thoughts.
doesn't have Luffy at number one, please let us know.
Please let us know. Please tell me who you have above Luffy. And if it's not Nico Robin, what are you doing? I feel like she's the only one I can
And if
imagine being higher than Luffy, even though I have her
it
at 4.
is Zoro, I know what kind of person
I
you
know
are.
what you are.
A power scaler.
A power scaler. I know what you are.
All right.
Anyways, enough of us rambling at the end.
Before we keep getting canceled, let's
Let's
get out of here.
let's get out of here before we get canceled. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tier lists. Cheers.
Cheers.